Uncertainty over the spread of the coronavirus is rattling markets. The Dow has plunged more than 2,300 points
from Italy tonight. The most staggering toll yet.
President Trump says the risk of
475
Americans
deaths in just the last 24 hours.
is low, and he led an
this
effort
happened in a
yesterday to
country
show his
with a
administration is
severe
prepared.
lockdown, with more doctors and beds per capita per person than
Breaking news tonight, the coronavirus forcing millions more Americans into virtual lockdown. Over 75 million people in New York, California, Illinois, and Connecticut ordered to stay at home. The U.S. borders to Mexico and Canada set to close to non-essential travel. Fear on the front lines. ER doctors saying we are on the verge of a medical disaster. Healthcare workers' lives at risk.
For years, Tom and I had had dreams of hunting the West Texas aoudad sheep. But just as that trip drew near, the world began to unravel because of COVID-19. As the world stocked up on toilet paper, hand sanitizer, and canned goods, we were practicing long-range shooting, hiking, and Onyx maps. Days before the trip, people said, "How can you go hunting at a time like this?" To this we said, "We're social distancing in the best place on Earth."
It's nothing like it seems. It's what I've been told.
Totally empty. Nobody here.
Oh, you'd learn what I mean.
Wow.
If you can't. But the risk, are you willing to take?
We're gonna put this to the test.
If you want to get away from people and social distance, this is exactly what you should do.
We'll be about 200 miles outside of San Antonio, and we're not going towards civilization. We're going away from it, that's for sure.
The hill country of West Texas is like nothing we'd ever seen. And just driving into the ranch, the aoudad we saw scattered all over that picturesque landscape made us super excited. And even though we were in the epitome of isolation, we rolled into a warm camp with great food and a lot of friendship right off the bat.
Life has only begun. Our feet were fashioned to run. Oh, and we'll go.
Well, after a hard-earned night of sleep and rest, Tom and I got up to a gorgeous West Texas morning. We leisurely gathered our equipment, made sure we were loaded up, and headed out into the trucks.
Getting ready to go back over the back of the point here, and we'll see if we can't spot a few aoudad.
We're excited to get started, even though the entire world's in a crisis. We're gonna take the spotting scopes out and hopefully locate a couple good males.
The thing about aoudad hunting is you really have all day to do it. It's nice to stay out of the midday heat and sun, but you really have the chance to get high, glass for these animals, figure out if there's an animal of the caliber you want, and then plan your stock on them. You oftentimes get multiple chances. We located lots of sheep that day, but just none of them were of the caliber that we were looking for.
So Clint's going to get us on the back side of the property over on a river gully and see if we can't figure out where some of the bigger rams are.
Well, the next outing we went to the very back edge of the property and really put on the boot leather looking for a quality ram.
We got some rams down below us.
Well, we finally found one, but of course it was a mile away, and it was going to be a major undertaking to get there in time. If you've not been, this country is treacherous. It is deep, steep, and rocky, and there are a lot of cliffs to go down, so getting somewhere fast is not safe or simple.
Dude, how far is he?
140.
How far?
You sure? He's gonna stop.
Just you range.
He's at 150. Alright, got it. Okay. You got him, baby!
And just when you don't think it's gonna happen, it happens. We hunted all day, we busted ass, we put on 12 miles on foot today. 20 minutes ago, a good sized ram about 200 yards away, I took him down.
Well, it really was a magic moment when we walked up on Tom's ram. It was so hard-earned, and the events were so well coordinated, and the shot he made was so spot on, that it was just one of those times you'll never forget. Well, after Tom harvested his aoudad, we knew there was another group in a different drainage. We carefully glassed the rock cliffs and slunk around the crest to see if we couldn't surprise this group. Finally, from half a mile off, we spotted them. And then we waited to see if there was a trophy ram in the bunch. After looking over 10 or 15 sheep, we finally found our mark, and we made our move. Just as we crested the mesa, we realized that the ram had moved, and he was standing 450 yards straight out in the open. Tom and I got ready, and we crept our way in closer for a better shot.
Got him. What's that range?
308, 308. And we saw a ram about 100 yards. Becker hits it, puts it down.
Man, this is such a great hunt. We are so happy to be behind an aoudad, and they say it's a sheep hunt. It is a sheep hunt. West Texas, man, I recommend it to anybody. But it's hard, make no mistake. Tom and I learned these are not easy hunts. You're gonna work for it, and that makes this reward all the better.
Of minutes away from the close. That's a look at the Dow. 19,900.
Coronavirus is rattling markets.
Healthcare workers' lives at risk.
You know, Tom and I realized on this trip that you don't have to seek isolation from a virus or a pandemic to appreciate how much balance and focus hunting brings into your life. So maybe what they say is true. Now more than ever, social distancing should be a way of life.
Coronavirus to live in these parts, that's for sure. We're gonna put this to the test.
Nice interior, the quiet of the drive, really.